people are amongst the greatest quiz players in Britain. Together, they make up the Eggheads, arguably the most formidable quiz team in the country. The question is, can they be beaten? Welcome to Eggheads, the show where a team of 5 quiz challengers attempt to beat possibly the greatest quiz team in Britain. Their quiz pedigree is well known as they've won some of the country's toughest quiz shows. They are the Eggheads. And taking on the awesome might of our quiz Goliaths today are the 5 Marketeers. This team of colleagues all work together in the marketing department of an association for accountants based in Chesterfield. So let's meet them.
Hi, I'm Stephen, I'm 20 and I'm a marketing assistant.
Hello, my name's Sue, I'm 40 and I'm head of marketing.
Hi, I'm Luke, I'm 36 years old and I'm a marketing consultant.
Hello, I'm Tom, I'm 21 years old and I'm a marketing assistant.
Hello, I'm Susan, I'm 50 and I'm communications coordinator.
Stephen and team, great to have you here.
Nice being here.
And so you're accountants who work with accountants, is that right?
Yes, so we're an association of accountants, so we help them become more profitable. Places make their practices more enjoyable to run and save them tax. Just save them money, really.
So accountancy can be enjoyable, can it?
It can at times, yes.
That's
Rarely.
a revelation. You were an accountant, weren't you, Barry?
I've never practiced as one, but I do have an accountancy degree.
Because you were at some point aiming to be an accountant and then you felt...
No, I just wanted to understand a bit more about business and how it worked.
What's the famous thing about auditors? Are people who found accountancy too exciting?
Yes, I have heard that.
Yeah. Okay, and what made you assemble this team, Stephen?
Well, there's 5 of us in the marketing team and we were snowbound at a marketing event and a few of us managed to get home in a 4x4 and it had a fancy TV and we were watching the Eggheads and I just brought it up as a joke really and then one day I just said, oh, by the way, I entered us and here we are.
Fantastic. So snowbound at a marketing event.
Yeah.
This is a good story. It's like the plot from Misery, isn't it? Okay, every day there's £1,000 worth of cash up for grabs for our challengers. However, if they fail to defeat the Eggheads, the prize money rolls over to the next show. So, 5 Marketeers. I can tell you the Eggheads have won the last 3 games. So £4,000 says you can't beat them today. I see you've already taken the tax off that in your minds. The first head-to-head battle will be on the subject of music. So which of you would like this one, challengers?
It's you, Sue,
Good to be
isn't it?
you. That's me, please, Jeremy.
Okay, Sue on music. Against which Egghead? You've got the pick of the crop here.
Barry?
Barry.
Yeah.
Yes, Barry, please.
You want our undercover accountant. Barry on music against Sue from the 5 Marketeers. And to ensure there's no conferring, would you please take your positions in the question room? So, Sue, as well as being an accountant, you love your music.
I do.
Tell us what you're into.
Classic rock mainly, but quite a lot of other stuff as well, and my guilty pleasure is Take That.
Well, they are very, very successful again, aren't they?
They are indeed.
And classic rock meaning AC/DC and Motorhead, or a bit more Bon Jovi?
Yeah, not particularly Motorhead, that's a little bit too heavy, but I love AC/DC, Foo Fighters, although they're not so classic, but Bon Jovi, Aerosmith's my favourite group.
Do you do any air guitar, Barry, yourself?
I'm afraid I do. It's mostly to Dire Straits music.
I wonder what that thumping sound was in your dressing room. Okay, I'll ask each of you 3 multiple choice questions on music in turn. Sue, I know you know that. You can choose the first or the second set of questions.
I'll go first, please, Jeremy.
So here we go with your first question, Sue. How old was Michael Jackson at the time of his death in 2009? Was he 40, 45, or 50?
I actually do know this one. He was 50, Jeremy.
You're right, he was 50. Barry, your question. According to the lyrics of Elvis Presley's hit Return to Sender, as well as No Such Number, No Such Zone, and Return to Sender, what does the recipient write on the letter? Gone away, please redirect, or address unknown?
No. It's address unknown.
She wrote upon it. That's right. Address unknown. Not doing any more. No matter how much you may beg me, CJ. Sue, your question. What is the title of James Blunt's 3rd studio album released in 2010? Is it Some Kind of Trouble, Some Kind of Wonderful, or Some Kind of Crazy?
I was hoping for a non-recent one. This will be a pure guess, because I don't really know James Blunt. I'm going to go down the middle with Some Kind of Wonderful, please.
It is is not some kind of wonderful. It's some kind of trouble. So Barry, your chance to take the lead. In the 1970s, Mike Oldfield had a UK top 10 single with a version of which Christmas carol? Was it In Dulce Jubilo, Silent Night, or the Wassail Song?
Oh, I was hoping this would be a question on tubular bells. I heard just Ridge. Not sure on this one. This again will have to be a guess. But given Mike Oldfield's penchant for having strange names, I'll go for In Dulce Jubilo.
Did you say given his pension?
Penchant.
Oh, pension. I thought you'd slip back into your accountancy mode for a second. Your answer is In Dulce Jubilo.
Mm-hmm.
And it's right, Barry. You've taken the lead. So, Sue, you need to get this one right. Doing What Comes Naturally and The Girl That I Marry are songs from which musical? Sue, is it South Pacific, Annie Get Your Gun, or Fiddler on the Roof?
Again, I'm not too sure on this one, but I think it might be Annie Get Your Gun.
If Daphne was here, I would ask her, because it's completely her scene. Do you know, Barry?
It's Annie Get Your Gun.
Annie Get Your Gun is the right answer, Sue. So you've got 2 points. Barry's got 2. If he gets his third question right, he will be in the final, though. So Solid Crew's 2002 UK hit single Ride With Us samples the theme music from which TV show? Is it Knight Rider, Airwolf, or The A-Team?
Gosh, you don't honestly expect me to know the answer to this one, do you? Ride With Us. Well, I don't think it's Airwolf then if you're riding. It could be the A-Team in their van, or it could be Knight Rider, but an inkling at the back of my mind that it was Knight Rider. So I'll go for Knight Rider.
And Knight Rider has got the word ride in as well. It's the right answer, Barry. So you're through to the final. Sue, sorry, you've been knocked out 3 points to 2. I'm just saying the scores because I know you like it exact in the accountants team. Bad luck, but it's early days. Please, both of you, come back and rejoin your teams. Well, bad luck, Sue. Stephen, any thoughts now about rearranging the deck chairs?
What deck chairs?
The tactics. You know.
Oh, right, no. We
No.
thought we wouldn't win, so we just...
Listen, you can win. Only 4 games ago, wasn't it?
Oh, yes.
You got taken apart by a team that make Blackpool rock for a living. As it stands, the challengers have lost 1 brain from the final round. The Eggheads have lost no brains. The next subject is sport. Now, who would like this?
Tom.
Oh yeah, Tom.
Okay, so Tom on sport. And which Egghead, Tom?
What do you think? Judith?
CJ?
Judith.
CJ. It's got to be.
I'll think
Yeah.
Pat, please.
So Tom from the 5 Marketeers against Pat from the Eggheads, and the subject is sport. Please go to the question room. Tom, do you like sport?
I am very happy to have this category, yes, Jeremy.
And as a category, and also as something you watch maybe on weekends?
Yes, plenty of it, yes, football mainly. Big Leeds United fan, so...
One day somebody's going to arrive and they're going to say they like a really, really unusual sport, but for ages now it's just been football, hasn't it, Pat?
Yes, yeah.
We haven't had anyone say they like, I don't know, hurling or...
No, the hurling enthusiasts have been notable by their absence.
When you learn your lists, Pat, for these quizzes, as I'm sure you do,
Oh, dear me.
although you deny it, which is the most obscure sport in the Olympics that you had to get across?
I forced myself to read about Olympic handball. I can't watch it though because I find it very tedious.
Handball, is that where you throw things?
It's where a team throw the ball to each other and finally fling it into a goal. That's a bit obscure. It's very popular on the continent, but it's not big in England.
You any good on handball, Tom?
I can't say I am, no, to be honest, Jeremy.
Okay, let's see if it comes up. You never know. Do you want the first or the second set of questions, Tom?
I shall go first, please.
Here we go, and good luck to you. According to the rules of darts, for a standard game, the board should be set up so that the centre of the bullseye is how high off the floor? 4 foot 8 inches, 5 foot 8 inches, or 6 foot 8 inches?
I do watch quite a lot of darts, and I have got a dartboard at home, and I haven't got a clue what the answer is. 4'8" seems a little bit too small. 6'8" seems a little bit too big. On that basis, I'm going to go for 5'8", straight down the middle.
Now, Kevin's been handy at darts in the past. Kevin?
That's right, yeah, 5 foot.
5 foot 8 is the right answer. Well done. you ever get 180, Kevin?
I have, many years ago, but I haven't actually played it much in recent years. When I was in my late teens, early 20s, I was reasonable. But, I say the magic has gone a bit.
Yeah, I can't think of another question. It's like that darts, isn't it?
It is a bit, yes.
Pat, the football team Dynamo Kiev play in which country's Premier League? Ukraine, Belarus, or Georgia?
All those countries have active soccer leagues. I think Dynamo Kiev scrap it out with Shakhtar Donetsk and the lads in the Ukraine.
Ukraine is the right answer, Pat. Well done. So 1 point each, and we go back to you, Tom. Tiger Woods won the 2000 US Open by a major record margin of how many strokes? Was it 5, 10, or 15? And obviously the word major's got a capital M there.
Right, okay. I'm pretty sure it's not 5. That's not enough. If you won by more than that, I think. I've got a feeling he really did win by quite a big margin. Well, obviously did, because that's the question. I'm not going to go with 15, actually. I'm going to go with 10. Straight down the middle again.
Ah, but it's wrong. 15 was the right answer. The logic worked for the darts, but not for Tiger. Pat, here's your question. 1 point each. England international cricketer Jonathan Trott made his first-class debut in 2003. For which county? Is it Warwickshire, Lancashire, or Kent?
I don't know much about Jonathan Trott. Who would he play for? A lot of overseas players play for Lancashire, but for some reason I don't think I fancy that. This is entirely guesswork. I think I'll go for Warwickshire, but it's really a guess. I'll go for Warwickshire.
Barry likes that, Barry.
It is Warwickshire, yes.
Warwickshire is the right answer, Pat. Well done. So he's taken the lead, Tom. You've got to get this one right. The Irish journalist Michael Morris was president of which sporting body from 1972 to 1980? Was it the IOC, FIFA, or the RFU?
Well, I've not got a clue, to be honest. I possibly would have heard it if it was FIFA. So I'm going to rule that one out. RFU was obviously rugby's big in Ireland. So for that reason, I'll go for the RFU. It's a guess.
It's not the RFU, I'm afraid. It's the IOC, International Olympic Committee. Is that right?
Yeah.
So, sorry, you have been knocked out by Pat, and that means Pat will be in the final, Tom, and you won't be. Do please, both of you, come back and rejoin your teams. Okay, as it stands, the challengers have lost 2 brains from the final round. The Eggheads have still not lost a brain. The next subject is geography. Now, who would like this?
Tom?
Yes.
Well,
Tom,
geography's
you've
my
been
second choice.
your second choice. What a shame.
And you've seen how bad I am at sport, so...
Well, no, you weren't that bad at sport, but it can't be you anyway, so
No.
it's got to be either Susan or Luke or Stephen himself.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Stephen from the 5 Marketeers against which egghead? Why do I think I know which one you're going to choose?
Judith, please.
Okay, we'll find out why in just a sec. Judith from the Eggheads against Stephen. Please go to the question room now. So, Stephen, I said I thought you were going to choose Judith because I think you were just determined to, weren't you?
Yes, I was hoping I'd get Judith, that she hadn't gone already. However, I wanted Kevin or Judith, and Kevin's he's a quiz Goliath. I know Judith is as well, but Kevin's a bit scarier, so...
Well, yeah, Judith is a quiz Goliath in her own
Right, yes,
tiny way.
absolutely.
In my own small way.
In your own small way, when there is money on offer. When you can stir yourself. Okay. I will ask each of you 3 questions on geography in turn, and Stephen, would you like the first or the second set of questions?
I'll go first, please.
Here we go with your first question. Good luck, Stephen. The Shrine of the Bab is a feature of the port of Haifa in which country? Is it Egypt, Israel, or Libya?
Could I go second, please? Ooh, I've never heard of it, actually. They have a lot of shrines in Egypt. They probably have shrines in all of them, actually. It's a pure guess, but my eye is drawn to Egypt, so that's what I'll say, Egypt.
Okay, it's Israel, Stephen. I'm sorry. But you're only 20, right? You haven't been there yet.
Yes.
So. Judith, also in her prime. The Sulu Sea is part of which ocean? The Arctic, Pacific, or Atlantic? Judith.
S-U-L-U.
S-U-L-U.
God. When in doubt. I mean, I've heard of the Zulu Sea, and absolutely it's gone out of my head where it is. I'm going to risk the Pacific.
Pacific is the right answer. They have this thing about going for the Pacific whenever it comes up, and it's so galling when it works. Okay, Stephen. Sombra Airport is the main airport serving which island? Is it Shetland, Guernsey, or the Isle of Wight?
I didn't think, I'm probably wrong, that they had an airport in Guernsey. I've not heard it on the Isle of Wight. So I'm going to say Shetland.
Well done, Stephen. Shetland is the right answer. How does that feel? Your first question right on the
I at least wanted to get one right today.
No, you have done. You have done. Judith, Jesmond, Haymarket and Ilford Road are stations on which city's underground railway system? Newcastle upon Tyne, Manchester or London?
Well, not London. I'm not sure. I think it might be Newcastle.
Newcastle upon Tyne is the right answer. Well done. So Judith has 2 and you have 1, Stephen. That means this one you have to get right or she has won the round. Good luck. Baluchistan is the name of an arid mountainous region that includes parts of Iran, Pakistan and which other country? Afghanistan, Tajikistan or Kazakhstan?
I was actually looking up about mountains in preparation for the show, and a lot of mountain ranges, it's crossed over in Afghanistan. Whether that's just a coincidence, I'm not sure. It's going to be another guess, unfortunately. I'm going to say Afghanistan.
Okay. Good bit of logic there from your revision. Eggheads?
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan is the right answer, Stephen. Well played. Judith, your question, this for the round. The Pelagiae Islands in the Mediterranean Sea are territories of which country? Italy, France or Greece?
I think it doesn't sound Greek to me, or French, so I'm going to go for Italy.
Judith, you have got 3 out of 3. Italy is the right answer. Sorry, Stephen, you've been knocked out. What a blow. Do both of you please come back and rejoin us here and we'll play the next round. So as it stands, the challengers have lost 3 brains from the final round. The Eggheads have lost no brains. Let's see what happens now. The last subject is politics. Who would like this?
Okay, which one, Luke?
Susan or Luke?
Process of elimination, I'll go.
I think
Come on,
there's
then.
sacrificial
No
lamb.
volunteer. So it's going to be Luke against CJ or Kevin.
Take on Kevin.
Kevin.
Luke from the 5 Marketeers. Kevin on politics? Let's see what happens now. To ensure there's no conferring, would you please take your positions in the question room? I will ask each of you 3 questions on politics in turn. And Luke, would you like the first or the second set of questions?
I'll go second, please, Jeremy.
Okay, so Kevin on politics, here we go. What was the term for the method of allocating votes at a Labour Party conference whereby unions cast the whole of their affiliated vote behind a proposal? Block vote, the wedge ballot, or the composite selection?
I don't think I've heard of the other 2 terms, but there was block vote, so go for block vote.
Block vote is the right answer. Yes, well done. Luke, your question. The Consumer Prices Index, or CPI, is used to measure the level of what? Is it immigration, taxation, or inflation?
It's certainly not immigration. I don't think it's taxation. So process of elimination, inflation.
Elimination, inflation, correct.
Thank you very much.
Inflation. Inflation is the correct answer. Well done. Kevin. One of Peter Mandelson's first jobs was as a producer on which television programme? Kevin, was it Panorama, Newsnight, or Weekend World?
I mean, they're all of a reasonable vintage, aren't they? I mean, Newsnight is younger than the other 2, but I don't know. I mean, Weekend World was presented for a long time by Brian Walden, who had strong Labour credentials, so on that basis I'll go for Weekend World.
Yeah, Weekend World is the right answer. I think Brian Gould was on it at the same time.
Yes, as well.
Oh, load of them actually on that famous programme. I wish he got that wrong, Luke. He was on the edge there, and then you could have just streaked through. In England and Wales, justices of the peace are appointed on behalf of the Crown by which cabinet member? Is it the Home Secretary, Lord Chancellor, or Civil Service Minister?
Don't think it would be the Home Secretary. Civil Service Minister sounds logical. But based on that, I'm going to go for Lord Chancellor.
Based on the Civil Service Minister sounding logical?
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you did. You got it right. Well done. Okay. Third question. Kevin. In 2010, Doris Leuthard became president of the Federal Council of which country? Sweden, Slovenia, Switzerland.
Well, Sweden has a prime minister and cabinet arrangement. Slovenia has both a president and a prime minister. Switzerland is a federation, and she's got a good Swiss-sounding name there, so we'll say Switzerland.
Switzerland is the right answer, Kevin. So you've got 3 out of 3, which he has made a habit of doing, Luke, I'm afraid. You need to get this question right or you'd be knocked out. Here's your question. What position on the opposition front bench did Enoch Powell hold at the time of his infamous 1968 Rivers of Blood speech? Was he Shadow Chancellor, Shadow Defence Secretary, or Shadow Health Secretary?
Very infamous speech. So infamous, I don't know the answer. I'd eliminate Health Secretary. I'm trying to think of a lot of the large chunks of the speech. I'm trying to think of what kind of position of the shadow cabinet he would hold in order to make those kind of comments. It's going to have to be a guess. I'm going to go for Chancellor. Shadow Chancellor.
Shadow Chancellor. I don't know whether his job title had anything to do with the speech. I suppose if you put the two together, you might come up with Shadow Defence Secretary. Shadow Defence Secretary is the answer. It's not Shadow Chancellor. So Kevin has won the round, as he tends to do, with alarming regularity. He will be in the final, and I'm afraid you won't be. Do both of you please come back and join us? We'll play that final round. So this is what we've been playing towards. It is time for the final round, which, as always, is general knowledge. But I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads won't be allowed to take part in this round. So, pains me to say it, Stephen, Sue, Luke and Tom from the 5 Marketeers, who are going to go down to 1, would you please now leave the studio? All right, Susan, you're playing to win. The 5 Marketeers, the other 4, £4,000. Barry, Pat, Judith, Kevin and CJ, you're playing for something that money can't buy, the Eggheads' reputation. As usual, I will ask each team 3 questions in turn. This time the questions are all general knowledge. You are allowed to confer. So, Susan, the question is your 1 brain better than the Eggheads' 5? And would you like to fire away?
Yes, I'll go first, please.
Here's your first question, Sue. Tsar Alexis Mikhailovich, who died in 1676, was the father of which historical figure? Ivan the Terrible, Peter the Great, or Genghis Khan?
Sorry, could you repeat his name?
Tsar Alexis Mikhailovich.
Okay, I'm assuming it was Russia. Genghis Khan, I don't think was Russia as it was. Ivan the Terrible, I have a feeling was earlier. But I could be wrong, so I'm going to go for Peter the Great.
Peter the Great is the right answer, Susan. Well done. They're pleased backstage. Okay, Eggheads, your question. A statue by Joseph Boehm of which scientist is prominently displayed at the Natural History Museum? Is it Robert Boyle, Charles Darwin, or William Herschel? Boehm is spelled B-O-E-H-M.
Has anybody just...
I know him, Beam.
I've years and years since, I must admit, since I went to the... Well, if it's the Natural History Museum, then logic says...
You have to assume it's Darwin, but...
Logic says Darwin, doesn't it? I mean, there's no particular... I mean, Herschel obviously was astronomy and physics. Boyle was chemistry.
Yeah, so it's got to be Darwin.
I think it's got to be Darwin.
And it's the first question, it's the obvious answer.
So I think...
Have to go for it. Yeah, Darwin, guys. Okay. We will go for Charles Darwin, please.
Charles Darwin is correct. Okay, 1 point each. Back to you, Susan. Which actor, a BAFTA Rising Star Award winner, directed the films Adulthood and 4321? Is it Matt Smith, Noel Clarke or John Sim?
As far as I know, Matt Smith hasn't directed a film. And I haven't, John Sim again, I haven't heard of anything. I think Noel Clarke has, so I'll go for Noel Clarke.
Well played, you're right again. Noel Clarke it is. 2 out of 2. This is getting interesting. The egghead's just starting to sweat very gently under the lights. American Smooth is the name given to a category of dances in American-style ballroom competitions that comprises the waltz, Viennese waltz, tango, and which other? Quickstep, foxtrot, or mambo?
Well, I am learning ballroom dancing at the moment, and I think American Smooth is a quick step.
Do you?
Yes, because that's how it's classified alongside with the waltz.
Oh, right, okay.
Anybody has any objections?
No.
No, not really.
If you're learning it, then
I
If
think,
you're
I
doing
think it's a quick. I'm not 100% certain, but I think it's a quick step.
Yeah, because I mean the foxtrot is just a development of the quick step,
Yes,
isn't it?
No, not very right.
the quick step is much more of a smoother dance than the foxtrot, anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Barry, who is learning ballroom dancing, has advised us it is a quick step.
Anyone else have an opinion?
None whatsoever.
Nothing at all.
So we're happy to go with Barry's expertise.
You shouldn't be, because it's wrong. It's foxtrot.
I'm sorry, chaps.
It's all right.
I thought it was
It's
quick.
foxtrot.
Really, no.
Well, well, well. They've fallen over their own shoelaces, sprawled on the dance floor. And Susan, you have a chance now to take the money for your lovely team, the 5 Marketeers, down to 1. If you get this question right, you've won the contest. Julian Mitchell's play Another Country is based on the early life of which figure from 20th century history? Is it Guy Burgess, John Profumo, or Ian Fleming? If you get this right, you've taken the contest.
Okay. Another Country. Obviously, they're all spy related. And I feel it could be any of them, but I'm going to go for Guy Burgess.
What's your logic there?
I may be wrong. Did he actually defect to the Soviet Union? I could be wrong, but I'm going for him.
If you've got this right, you've won. The eggheads are all here in their combined massed forces, their massive intellects. Eggheads, is she right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Congratulations, Susan. You're right. It's Guy Burgess. You've won. Well, it's just like, bang. You were completely silent on the end of the table and you come in and then storm the whole thing. Were you the secret weapon?
They kept saying I wasn't. I was very unsure of the time.
You're too modest. You're too modest. Well done. What a brilliantly played game. That's why Eggheads is so fantastic. Oh, guys, you're going to have to go off and learn the foxtrot, I think. Congratulations, you've just won £4,000. You are officially cleverer than the Eggheads. You've proved that they can be beaten. Join us next time on Eggheads to see if a new team of challengers will be just as successful as the 5 Marketeers. Until then, goodbye.
A twisted spire in Derbyshire as John Sargent heads for Chesterfield in Britain's first photo album next. Then The Truth About Tulip Mania with Coast in the Netherlands at 7.